I'm
You
a
don't ride
prophet as
nuts to
well.
butts all the time?
I prefer butts to butts. Just
Okay. All right. Yeah, the reverse. I like that.
yeah.
Rise, rise, choppers will die.
Gross. It's Rachel.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Awesome. Whereabout are you in the USA?
So I'm located in Kuna, Idaho,
Cool.
which no one really knows where that is. So I just usually say Boise because that's like our big city. So
Right. Okay, cool. And
kind of in
and
the middle of nowhere.
what's like what's your weather pattern like there? Do you get to ride all year round or you
No, it sucks, honestly. Winters are like super harsh. This
Yeah,
year's been really bad. We're still getting like rain and snow every
gross.
once in a while, but then like the next day it'll be 70, so we get out and ride, and then like
Right.
20 minutes later it's raining or snowing. So it's really weird. Like we're going into May and we're
Yeah.
usually out riding, working on our bikes, whatever we got to do, just having a good time. And this year's it's been so bad.
That's weird because that's kind of what we're going through here in the UK, which is
Hmm.
crazy. So take us back to the beginning. So I mean, how did you first get into bikes? I mean, a lot of people would, there's that weird thing for some reason when there's like an attractive female that rides choppers. For
Hmm.
some reason, it just like sparks this weird interest. Like people are like, "Holy shit, she rides a fucking motorcycle! What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's
You know what I
weird.
mean?
It's like I don't know the correlation with that is like, oh, a hot chick rides a chopper,
Yeah,
like, and it becomes like an obsession. I don't know where that
yeah,
comes from. It's just like any female or whatever can pick
it's
up a
crazy.
bike, and
Yeah,
it's so
totally.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
like
yeah,
dudes, it's like it's different for you guys too. It's like, oh, it's just another chopper dude, but like on social media, if someone's
yeah.
posting as a female or whatever, um, yeah, it's like this weird thing. Like we get shit on all the time, or there's no
Yeah, yeah,
fucking way that you're actually riding that bike. You're just taking
yeah,
still photos. Like it's weird. Yeah.
yeah. No, totally. I've seen the comments and stuff. So
Yeah.
take us back to the beginning. How did you get into choppers or
Choppers
motorcycles?
specifically. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I used to ride dirt, like
Okay.
started pretty young. I'd say like 7 or 8. I got on my first like little dirt bike, had no business being on it. I was at a MMA camp because I used to do MMA.
Awesome.
And so we just went out as like a group and did this little camp. One of my friends brought his dirt bike and I just hopped on it, had no business, didn't know what I was doing, hit a rock, got into like a little accident, didn't tell anyone. I just jumped back on it and started riding back down to camp. And then everyone's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Because I was like crying. And I
Yeah,
was like, I'm
yeah.
nothing happened. Everything's fine. Um, so I rode dirt for a little bit. Um, my uncle had an R6 when I was
Cool.
growing up. And that was like my first experience on a street bike,
Mhm.
like riding on pavement. Um, I was like 13, 14, riding that around to practice and shit, which
Holy
was,
shit.
again, had no business. Idaho has like no rules here, apparently.
I mean, that's a fucking bike. An R6
that
is a fucking weapon.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
um, and then I didn't ride at all until about 11 years ago is when I
Okay.
picked up my Sportster.
Mhm.
So I've had that bike for 11 years, same bike.
Awesome.
I, yeah, my husband started building his first bike and I was like, fuck that. I want one too. I want to build one as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So I found some like shitty pile of shit on Craigslist, bought it for 500 bucks. It was blown motor, came in a bunch of
Awesome.
boxes. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know if everything was there.
Hmm.
And took about a year to rebuild that. It was so ugly, but I feel like everyone's first build like isn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
great, you know. But it
Yeah, of
rode.
course.
I
And that's the
rode it like
Sportster.
that.
This
Yeah.
Sportster? Yeah, sick.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Same bike. Yep.
Awesome.
So it's gone through like 7 different like evolutions of life, I would say. So I've
Yeah, yeah.
like rebuilt it a few times and just like slowly making it into what I wanted. And that's what it is today. So
What was your husband building at the time?
he had a it was an Evo. He was building an
Right, cool.
Evo chopper. Yeah.
So I mean, is he pretty like experienced with that? So you had like all the help
Yeah.
you need and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back
Awesome.
then, all we had was like a few of our buddies, just like in a little garage, and then basically like YouTube, University of YouTube. We just kind of learned everything because I feel like 11 years ago when we built these bikes in our area, there wasn't a whole lot going on. So, we just basically had like a good chunk of our friends who are like, yeah, I know a little bit about Harleys. We have our friend Dan, who's a Harley tech here. He's like kind of guiding us through a few things, and we just slowly learned how to do it on our own.
Walk us through how did it start? What was the first?
First step was it needed a top end rebuild. It was completely chewed up. Like you can tell the dude that had it before, like dropped a screw in the piston or something, and it just completely chewed it up. So, I ended up finding a top end, like a complete top end that was, I think it only had maybe 50 miles on it.
Yeah.
Off of eBay. I picked that up for $200, and my friend Alex helped me rebuild the motor, which was a nightmare, but haven't had any issues with it since then. So we got that built. At that time, I still had the swing arm. It wasn't like hardtailed or anything. So I had some like burly slammers on there. We threw those on there. Lots of crying happened when things weren't working out, typical bike building mode. But it was kind of a slow process. Like I've at that time had 2 kids, so it was like juggling kids, building bikes, and like wanting to go out and do our own thing. So we only had like a few hours every night to build these choppers. And
I just took my wife. She's going to get her license. And I just took it to have a look at some like brand new bikes because I was like,
nice.
Get something safe and something reliable that I know is. And she's having a look, and then we're driving home. She's like, "Look, I know what you're saying, but I want to build a Harley. I don't want the new fucking thing. So
fuck it, get her a chopper.
Yeah, that's
have her build a chopper because she'll getting her hands dirty and like seeing the process will. Like for me, I appreciate my bike so much more than if I were just to go in and buy a brand new bike and be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Basically. Totally. So that'll kind of like bring it all together for her too. If she's like even the little bit like slightest, like, I don't know if I want to ride or whatever, like she'll gain that appreciation for it for sure. And that's what I tell everyone. Yeah.
So how many kids have you got?
3.
Right, cool. So we've got 3 as well.
Nice. How old are
they? 5, 10, and 12.
Awesome. I have 13, 11, and 9. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Close ages. So like now they're getting to the age where you got a bit more fucking time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're pretty independent kids. I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Are they into bikes?
I think our oldest is our teenager. She's like getting into it more. She skates and like she's hanging out in the garage and whatever. So I think she sees that like mom and dad, we used to be so embarrassing because, we're tattooed. Like we look kind of scary to other kids when they walk into the school and pick them up or whatever. And so we've always been embarrassing. Like, no, don't come to the school. Like everyone thinks you're scary, especially my husband. Like he's 6'6", fully covered, like head to toe, like you.
Yeah.
And she always used to come home and say like, hey, my friends think you're really scary.
Yeah, totally.
So I think our oldest, she is most curious about it right now. And she said like she wants like this little Honda like rice burner car for her first car, but she also wants to ride a bike. So it's like, but we want her to build her own. So again, she can appreciate what we're putting money into and whatever. So it'd be cool to have her like build her own alongside with us.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm hoping to do with mine. It's weird. Mine's going through like the same kind of transition, but she's not embarrassed at all. Like every day it's like, Dad, can you take me to school on a bike? Dad, And
she's getting to that point, and it sucks because none of us have passenger pegs on our bikes as of right now. I think the bike that Chris is building, I think he's putting passenger pegs on it specifically for her. So, she's always like the past like 3 years, she's kind of like begged us to take her on the bike. So we're gonna make that happen eventually.
When I take her on, I haven't got passenger pegs either, so she's got to like wrap her legs around me. But I mean, because I drank for a long time, so I got a bit of
Mhm.
fucking beer belly, you know. So sometimes I've got to like hold on to her feet and the bars at the same
Yep.
time, make sure she doesn't
Yeah.
fucking.
You need to get
But
her
yeah,
like suspenders so she can hang on to them in the back or
man,
something.
yeah. My youngest, she was like, she would not leave me alone. She really wanted to go out on the bike, but she was like fucking 4, you know. So I
Mm-hmm.
got her one of them harnesses that you put on,
Yep.
and you basically like she's a backpack,
Mm-hmm.
and she fucking loved it. But man, I'm terrified.
It's so scary.
I don't trust anybody else. You know,
No.
I've had a few wrecks, so
Yeah. We have a friend who is a stunt rider,
yeah,
actually. And man, she jumped on the back of his bike so quick one night. I think it was
yeah,
like 4th of July when we were out like
yeah.
outside lighting fireworks and partying, whatever. And yeah, he was just like ripping wheelies up and down our street. And she's like, "Can I get on the bike?" And we're like, So we
Yeah.
like threw her dirt bike helmet on and he
Yeah.
like took her around the block a few times. But I was like, "Oh my God,
I know, yeah.
please
It's just that
don't do a
fear.
wheelie." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. She loves them though.
I think it's important, especially today, to like be doing shit like this with kids, you know, like
I think so too.
instead
Yeah.
of them just like always sat in their room on computers and shit like that, like giving
Mm-hmm.
them, even if they never use it, just giving them like that skill and just get
Yeah.
just you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. We get our kids out as much as possible. I mean,
Yeah,
winter's really hard for them, obviously, so they
yeah,
spend more time inside. But like we build them a skate ramp, so we just
yeah,
like wheel it out of the garage during summertime. They're out there like skateboarding constantly. So and we just
yeah,
try and like
perfect.
take them out when we have time because we own 2 businesses and whatever. So it's like yeah, in between us running the businesses and working and yeah, we try to take them to we have like several different skate parks in the area. So we just try and like bounce them around from place to place. But it's
Awesome.
hard. Sometimes all they want to do is sit and play
Yeah,
fucking Fortnite,
yeah,
you
man.
know?
Yeah, my son is obsessed with Fortnite, and I
Yeah.
get it. You know, I get it. You know, that's how he kind of everything's changing now, isn't it? You know, and that's how he
Mm-hmm.
communicates with his friends and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I think like even if it's only a small portion of the time, just getting them out, helping with the bikes and shit like that, it just teaches them
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, it just gets their brain working in a different way, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Problem solving.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
It seems to be an issue right now for them.
yeah. I don't really do much problem solving. I usually I just like those
Cause
memes.
the problems. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
100%. I'll make problems with my bike that aren't even fucking there, and then
100%.
I'm the those like memes where it's like just like a fat guy like looking totally defeated, just sat on the ground next to his bike in pieces, and
Yeah.
it's like oh it's like the YouTube tutorial didn't work or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's me. That's
Okay. Perfect.
I'll just sit there and procrastinate for an hour why it's not working.
God, I do that too. Like yesterday, you saw my post about
Yeah,
my
that's what I was
bike
gonna ask.
falling over.
Yeah,
So I was riding yesterday and I was like, man, it's making some weird noises. It's ticking. And I'm just like, I don't remember it making that noise over like last summer. I don't remember
yeah,
that. And so in my brain, I'm like, oh, it's gonna blow up. Like I need to rip it apart and
yeah, yeah,
figure out what's going on when really it probably just needs a fucking oil change, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's 99% of the problem. And so I was like, yeah, putting it on the lift. And my youngest was helping me strap it down. Everything was fine. It was great. I
Yeah.
had it like balanced so I can strap it down even more. And she just grabs the strap and yanks it down as hard as she could. My
Shit.
bike was like starting to tumble over. It was like a slow fall. Thank
Yeah,
God I was
yeah,
able
yeah.
to catch it. And I like yelled at her to move because she was under the bike. And I was like, God damn it.
Fuck.
But yeah, I had to stare at it for like 10 minutes and be like,
Yeah,
what just happened?
yeah.
It was terrible. That has never happened to me before, a bike
Yeah,
falling off a lift. And it was like so scary,
yeah,
especially
man.
because my youngest was there. Like I was by myself. I didn't even have my husband to be like,
Yeah, yeah,
how are we gonna do this?
yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. The paint didn't get ruined, which
That's
I'm
good.
glad I broke its fall. So
Yeah. I had like a similar thing, but it was just a frame. It was just a roller. But
hmm
my youngest, it was like leant against the wall. So I just didn't think she would be able to pull it over. But yeah, she pulled it over, man.
hmm
Luckily, it was just a roller. And it pretty much landed on top of her, it was fucking terrifying, but
It's so scary.
little shits.
Yep. Gotta love them.
Yeah, that's it. So
Yep.
so what do you do for a living then?
I do hair
Cool.
primarily. That's like my job. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a good like creative output for me. It doesn't feel like work. So I just go in, never know really what I'm going to be doing unless the client is like, hey, here's what I want to do, which rarely happens. It's always like a surprise or like whatever. And then my husband's a barber as well. So
Awesome.
we work together at the shop, which is amazing. And then we also own a flooring company. So
Cool.
which is great. Like we do just flooring, LVP and whatnot, hardwood floors. So
All right,
yeah.
cool. That's like
Yeah.
quite that's a contrast.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
cool. It's like nice to like get your hands dirty in one and then go do hair and make people pretty. So
yeah, that's cool. That's really weird. Like me and my wife, we both tattoo in the same private studio. Like we both
nice. Do you ever get asked like, how do you guys work together all the time? Right. And you're just like most of the time, my clients will ask me and they'll be like, isn't it weird like working with your husband? Don't you need a break from him? And I'm like, honestly, I don't even he's my best friend. And I talk shit to him all day, which is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And then most of the time we're like both in our own little worlds. I don't even realize he's standing next to me. So
yeah, totally. Yeah, man. That's it. Like, well, that's what Leanne says. And the customer's like, man, I struggle to be with my husband for like a couple of hours at night. Me and Leanne look at each other like, shit, we're together like every fucking day, all day.
All day long. And I don't ever get sick of him, like you said, we're best friends and like we have fun banter and it's like, it just doesn't get old. Like, you know,
totally.
And some people can't handle that, but I prefer it that way.
Yeah. So I'll always be like, she's allowed friends. Like, I'm not crazy. Like,
I didn't force I didn't force her to work here with me so I can keep an eye on her. I'm not crazy.
Like she went out in our like local village. She went to the pub with a friend, and there were people like, "Wow, he's let you out." She was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? He's let me out." Yeah,
he's let me out. I've
got we just like
let your chains go. Yeah. No, we just genuinely like being around each other, and that's okay. That's funny.
It'd be really cool when she can ride as well.
Yeah, it's so much fun, like getting to ride with each other and having that other type of bond too. It's like when Chris and I ride together, like we can literally get within like inches of each other and like continue riding, and like I'll put my leg up on him or whatever. We'll hold hands and stuff. It's really funny, like the shit we do on the road. But I think you guys will enjoy it a lot.
Definitely.
Does she just ride on the back right now?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
That's got old now. She's
that's scary for me to be on the back of another person's bike because I'm a control freak. But
it was for her to begin with. But I get it. I've never been on the back of anybody, and well, one it would look hilarious, but two, I couldn't trust anybody, I'm
you don't ride nuts to butts all the time.
I prefer butts to butts. Just
okay, all right, the reverse. I like that. That's funny. Yeah, Chris has been on the back, I think like once or twice, and it's hilarious every time. Because he's just this.
You say he was 6.
He's a big dude. He's 6'6", like 2 something. I don't even know how. He's a big guy. Like we'll just say it that way. But there's been times where he'll just like jump on the back of someone's bike and like putt around, and it just looks ridiculous. Even when he rides my Sportster, I'm like, you look like you look so big. Doesn't make any sense. So
tell us about some like the trips you've both done. Because I say it on every single episode, but like it's so different over there. You can ride so far for so many days,
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty much traveling all summer. We have like events pretty much every month, sometimes like multiple events a month that we ride to. So a few years back, we used to take trips to like Oregon. We would just ride from Idaho to the Oregon coast and stuff and just kind of like ride all through that area. Which has been some of my favorite trips. It's the weather is kind of like hit or miss. It's either like beautiful and you get up to the top of a mountain and it's snowing and like the boys are wearing shorts and their knees are red. Like we just don't expect it. We never really know what's going to happen. So we used to do that, and I want to start doing that again. We've just been so busy with other shit We travel to Born Free every single year, which is one of my favorite shows.
Awesome.
Virginia City. I don't know. We go to like all the shows over here on this side of the US. So lots of trips.
Yeah,
And
man,
we
that's
do that all
awesome.
together. Yeah, there's I did a solo trip to Dream Roll, which is like an all women's riding camp in Oregon. And that was like round trip. I did 1,800 miles in 2 days.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. And it was just me. So it was like weird riding by myself. But I think you need that every now and then just to like go do
Definitely.
something and no one around you. Like roads are completely open. Like when I was riding, I don't remember exactly where I was, but there was nobody for miles, no gas stations, nothing. I ran out of gas. I had some like weird wiring issues, and it was cool just to like be in my own head and fix that and, keep going.
Quick shout out to this episode sponsor, Chop City Customs. Head over to Instagram right now. Follow them at chopcity_customs. I'm not joking. I am passionate about this saddlebag that they've sent me. It is the most durable hard-wearing saddlebag I think I've ever seen. From the material to the fucking hardware. And not only is it fucking great quality, but it looks sick. 5, 10, 15 years of this thing strapped to your fucking hardtail or your sissy bar. It is only gonna get better with age. Breathing in that fucking crust and that character only gonna look better in time to come, which that's exactly what I look for in a saddlebag, a tool roll. Speaking of fucking tool rolls, this thing has a fucking tool roll built in. It holds 3 liters. It holds your fucking gas can. Honest to God, yeah, I fucking love this thing. Discount code right now on screen. These guys ship worldwide for free. There is no excuse not to have one of these things. Head over to the website right now. Make sure you get one ordered. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Ride choppers are fucking die. Riding alone is like one of my favorite things, to be fair. I mean, I enjoy riding with the guys and that, and it's just a different thing. But like especially for like long trips, I don't know, I just like to ride at my speed, do what I want, just and just I don't know, it's kind of like, I don't want to go too deep with it, but it's kind of like a bit of a therapy thing, you you can just talk to yourself in your fucking, it's
I'm like wholeheartedly for that. I love taking like even just like riding to work and back like by myself, and that's like a 30-minute ride. It's just like a time for me to have silence, like no kids, no music, and just talk dumb shit to myself in my helmet. And like if I had a GoPro strapped and it was recording, like there'd be some weird shit for sure. But I think like everyone needs that, just a moment of silence for yourself, which is great. But 1,800 miles was a lot of that, and I felt like I was going a little crazy.
Definitely. Sure. I had a friend, and he was saying we had a trip, and he was like, we should get like intercoms so we can. And I was like, you don't want to hear what goes on in my
absolutely not. No one wants to be in this brain.
No, definitely not. But so, how long did it take you to do that again? Sorry,
2 days.
miles, 2 days. Sick.
Yeah.
So did you just camp, or did you? Yeah.
So I rode from Idaho to, gosh, I don't even remember where it was. Somewhere like in the middle of nowhere, Oregon. I did that trip all in one day. Camped there for the night. It was a 2-day event. I only stayed for one night because I had to get back home. The next day, I just wanted to check it out and hang out with the girls and whatever. Packed up the next morning, did like a little loop around the lake, and I think I took the long way back on accident, which I don't know how I did that, but whatever, it worked out. And then I just rode all the way back home the next day.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It
was cool.
We could do that here, but it'd be a weird circle, because I'm coming over to do the EDR, and my friend sent me the plan, like which way we're going, and just to like the starting line, it's like nearly 1,000 miles, I think, and the UK is not even 1,000 miles from the top to the bottom.
That's what I've heard.
It's crazy small. So
it's
I'm gonna start. I mean, we've got to get. It's easy because we can just get on the train and then get into Europe, and then we're like in France, and you can go anywhere, you know. So
yeah, there's a guy that I follow on TikTok right now who is taking his first trip to America, and he was like researching land and stuff. He's like, I think I can get like from one side of Texas to the other side of Texas in like a few hours, right? Because that's how it is for you guys over there. Like everything's so compact.
Yeah.
And then he was like looking at it on the maps. He's like, it would take me like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would it take so long? I'm like, it's fucking huge here.
It's the size of Europe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Totally. I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to riding through the desert. You know, we don't have any desert. That's not even a fucking thing here. You know,
it's hot, it's fun, and it's flat, and not a lot of things to look at. But it's a good change of scenery for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the fuel thing, that's what I'm worried about.
Just like getting held up somewhere, or
yeah, because like I mean, there's stretches in the desert where there's like there's no gas stations, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking time.
For a long time. Yeah. So you just got to bring a couple gas cans and a water bottle or something and pray that it'll make you get to the next spot. I mean, yeah, that's how it is a lot of places here. It's like you go into a big city, everything's great, whatever, and then you get into like more countryside in the same area, and then you're just like nothing for miles. So it's like you have to be prepared and kind of like do some like mapping and research, but you'll be fine. Someone will have gas.
I'm slightly nervous about that because I'm like super ADD. Like before people were labeling themselves, like I've struggled with it for a long time. So like concentrating on one thing for a long time, I'll be like closing my eyes on the fucking highway to see how long I can keep them closed and shit. You know,
I have ADHD and I relate to that so hard.
It's
so hard.
So bad. Yeah.
It is.
And then I get so bored that I start concentrating on things that I shouldn't really concentrate on. I'm like, well, that feels weird. Am I having a heart attack right now? Or am I
That's exactly what happened yesterday when I was like listening to my bike while I was riding. And I'm like, what the fuck is that sound? Like I shouldn't be focusing on that. Everything's fine. But like your brain is like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I want to talk about that a bit. I haven't really spoke to anybody else that suffers with that really. Like most people, I explain it to them and they're like, oh, can you not just switch off and enjoy the ride? I'm like, I can't enjoy anything for longer than like 10 minutes.
No, never. There's always, it's always like either you're completely oblivious to things because you're in your own head, or you're like hyper fixated on like something that's not a problem, you know, or it's like, oh my God, am I gonna like focus on the lines? I'm gonna fall asleep. Like I need to close my eyes and see how many lines I can go, or whatever it is. Like, or like it's like for me, night riding is the absolute fucking worst because I'm blind. Like I've even had LASIK surgery and I still can't see at night. Like so my headlight is like not great at all either. So I'm like, I always like hyper fixate on like the solid white line on the right side. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm like wiggling with it. And I'm like, shit, I'm fixating on this road. And then it's just, I don't like look in front of me. I'm just like watching the line. I'm like, God damn it. But that's
corners come out of nowhere and shit.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Fuck, I thought I was weird.
No, we're all a little crazy. People that have it. So yeah, I think it's different for like men and women though. Like for women, I know for like doctors here anyways, they're like, oh, you're just sad, you're depressed, like you have anxiety. I'm like, no, like something is really wrong with me. Like I can't complete tasks in my house. Like I'll go clean the dishes and then I'll notice the trash needs to be taken out, and then I notice like my baseboards are dirty, so I need to go clean those, and nothing gets done. And it's the same like when I was building my bike, it's the same thing. I'm like, oh, this wire looks weird. Oh shit, I forgot to put this bolt on my seat, and now my headlight's rattling. Like nothing gets done in a timely manner because everything's getting done all at once, and it needs to stop, honestly.
No, I 100% relate. And I've had that conversation where they're like, we just need to, what do you call it over there? Over there they call it Zoloft. They call it surgery. Like, you just need Zoloft. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I just, I need Adderall, actually. That's what I need.
It's a fucking nightmare.
It is.
It's it's really weird as well because like nobody gets it, you know. And because I like to stop every hour. I like to stop, and I need to, or I'll fucking go crazy.
Yeah.
But some guys, you know what I mean? They just want to keep riding, keep riding. I'm like, fuck, I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of like opposite in that way. I'm like, even though like I'm the one with like the small tank, right? Like I have a 1 gallon tank, so I have to stop anyways, which is good, I think, for my brain. But I'm so stubborn where I'm like, let's just like bang out 600 miles in one shot. Like, let's just go. And then we end up stopping anyways because I'm the tiny gas tank person that everyone hates. And it's a good break. I'm like, oh, actually, I kind of did need that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. If I just like banged out 600 miles, I'd probably end up riding off a cliff. You know, it's just just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
So what bike has your husband got now?
Right now he's working on a panhead. He's building it for the Virginia City Roundup, which is a show here in Virginia City. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that show is really rad. I don't right now, like the motor's done. He's just waiting on hardtailing it, which is in the garage right now. So there's like little things here and there, but we're hoping he'll have it done before Born Free, but it's going to look sick. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but he's doing like a kind of like a lowrider look, I guess.
Oh, cool.
And a chopper. So it'll look pretty sweet. He's going like very traditional, like 70s chopper look, which is rad. Yeah.
I've just bought a 49 panhead, which is exactly that style. That's really weird.
Like all done up already?
It's kind of I mean, it's really fucking clean. It's in a shovel head swing arm frame, but it's kind of like it is like it's like the lowrider, like the Cholo kind of style.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's. Yeah. Okay. Sick. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
I'm gonna take it more kind of stock. Kind of, but yeah, that's it. Do you know what year's his? You know?
I don't. No. 54 maybe. I'm not sure. I don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He talks about it all the time. I'm just like, whoop. I'm focusing on something else. I love you, but I'm thinking about my next build. Sorry.
No. What is your plan for your next build?
Oh, everyone's gonna shit on me for this, but I want to build an iron head.
Right, cool.
I mean,
you just everyone like wasting money, or
I do. I like sitting on the side of the road and figuring out problems and kicking it until my leg falls off. Yeah, pretty much. No. I feel like everyone right now is just building panheads and shovel heads and knuckleheads and like the cool guy shit. And I don't know. I love Sportsters. Always have, always will. And not many people are building iron heads anymore right now anyways here. So I kind of want to kickstart again doing that. And then I was even thinking like a big twin Evo also, but there's already like, after I said it too, like a few of our friends are like, oh, I'm going to build a big twin Evo. And I'm like, fuck you. I literally said this 2 weeks ago and now you're building one. So now I can't build one. So I think I'm going to stick with Ironhead, even though like my husband gives me shit. Everyone talks shit about it. And I'm like, whatever, I'm going to do what I want to do.
I mean, look at the one that Kirpius had. You know what I mean? He rode that thing fucking everywhere for years and years.
Yeah.
It works. I think you just got to, I think the sad thing about it is I think you need to put like, an iron head will be amazing as long as you put like shovel head money into it.
Sure.
And that's the thing. You're like, oh fuck, I've got a shovel head like instead of. You know, but
if you I don't really care about that though. Like, yeah, I don't care about having like a cool shovel head. I mean,
cool guy shit.
Yeah, the cool guy shit. You know, I'm not a cool guy. I don't need cool guy shit. You know, so it's like, I kind of just want to build the iron head and just stay in the Sportster realm. Which, whatever, it's fine. Maybe someday I'll be a cool guy.
And I'm one day. And I mean, staying with the sports thing as well, like they're light, you know?
Yeah.
They're not overly heavy and shit. And it's if it falls off the lift, it's no fucking problem. Well,
no problem. I mean, it kind of
it's a problem.
Honestly,
but, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, like my bike, for instance, is so top heavy because my front end is 10 over. So it's like it's so awkward. And anytime someone like picks it up, they're like, holy shit, this is heavy. And I'm like, it's not. It's only like 400 pounds in total, but like it feels so heavy because the front end is so long. So, but I'm used to it.
I've got a long front end on my Sportster, and you've got rabbit ears, right? Have you?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And man, that was the heaviest steering. When I seen you riding that, I was like, holy shit, I'm a pussy.
Everyone
Like,
says that. They're like, how do you ride this thing? I'm like, I
it,
don't
it
feel it.
was that
Like for
that
me,
combination for me was just fucking crazy. I
is
couldn't.
it?
Yeah, yeah,
I enjoy it.
yeah,
I don't feel heavy or anything like that, only when I'm picking it up
yep.
in like certain angles. But
Mhm.
other than that, like I think I'm just so used to it maybe. And
Totally.
I've got like huge muscles. So
Well,
I'm
and
just
you and,
kidding.
you, and you've had it so long, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah. I think I've been running the 10 over, I don't even know, like maybe 5 years. So I've
Sick.
definitely gotten used to it. But I had like little, like the TC Bros, like H bars
Yeah,
on it. So they were like little teeny tiny bars. And
yeah,
that was kind of hard to pick up because there was like no leverage. But
yeah,
with the rabbit ears, I feel like it's nothing. So
yeah.
yeah.
So what advice would you give to any other women that want to get into choppers, building a chopper, riding choppers, anything?
I say just fucking go for it. And I know a lot of women are like scared because like
Yeah.
as like female builders, and any like female builder can tell you this, like we get shit on so hard. And I don't know, I don't give a fuck. Maybe that's just my personality type, but like I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say about it, or if they're like talking shit, I'm like, whatever, that's cool, good for you. You need to go fix yourself and
Yeah, yeah.
maybe find something better to do. But I get asked that a lot, like, how do I get into it? And I'm just like, find someone else who, like, in your area who does it and just do it together. If you're scared, like,
Mhm.
just go for it. Like, don't be scared. Don't be intimidated. Like, there's a million people out here to help you, and we're all willing to do it. Like,
I,
yeah.
I I I asked that question because I've had women messaging the podcast Instagram, and they're asking that shit, and
Mhm.
they say that a lot. They say like, I don't really know how to get started. I'm kind of intimidated, I've got, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get there seems to be a weird fear there.
There is a weird fear. And I think
Yeah.
for some reason, like, women are afraid to ask like other women for help too, because
Yeah.
they'll like feel judged or something. But like I get questions all the time from women, and I'm just like, let me like help you. Like if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need help with like seriously FaceTime me and I can help you with something. Like I mean, I'm not like the greatest, like most knowledgeable person, but I've done it enough to where I can like guide you through something at
Yeah.
least.
Totally.
Like don't be afraid to ask. And I think that's like a big part of it. And I don't know, I don't have a problem asking for advice on something, but
Yeah.
a lot of but I think it's because I've been doing it for so long. But at first I was like, I don't want to ask and like feel stupid. And um, so I think that's kind of like the biggest thing is like as a woman getting into like choppers or motorcycles in general,
Yeah.
and then like asking for advice and then having someone be like, oh, you're fucking dumb. Like, why are you even why are you
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
trying to do this? And it's like I don't understand why that happens, but it does, unfortunately. So
So that's what you mean when you say you get shit on for it? Like people say shit like that?
um I mean, mostly honestly, like dudes on Instagram are so shitty. Like they'll be
Really?
like, "Oh, those handlebars are ugly. Like you didn't even build that right. Look at those welds." Like blah blah blah. Like there's just always something to like point out, and that's like us getting shit on something. But
Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
have like the shittiest, like most garage built looking bike ever
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is just like thrown together in 2 seconds, and be like, well, look at your bike. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
what are you trying to
Yeah.
say?
It's
Like, I
weird,
know my
isn't it?
bike's not. It's so weird. It's like a
I'm
huge double
interested in
standard,
like,
and
yeah, I'm interested in the psychology behind that, like
mhm. I
it,
don't get it. I think it's because like it started as such like a one-sided like driven industry,
yeah,
and now that like we're kind of joining in, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
whoa, back off, buddy. You
yeah.
don't have a place here.
Yeah.
But
It's crazy.
we really do. And I think
Yeah,
like,
totally. Yeah.
yeah, we're all kind of like coming together, and that's why there's like women's riding camps so that we can all like collectively just like make friends from other people in other parts of the states and or even worlds,
Yeah.
and just like be there for each other. And because there's some super rad women out there who build bikes, and
Yeah, man.
even if they don't build them, they like ride them and
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
whatever, do their thing. And it's super cool to like see that on Instagram and be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this chick is cool.
Have you got any that you'd like to shout out? So people can have a look?
One of my best friends, Lana, she actually runs Dream Roll and she helps out with Paradise Roadshow as well. She is like one of the first people that I actually followed on Instagram because she has this whole page called Women's Moto Exhibit where she features like just all women riders.
Awesome.
And so Lana's like one of my best friends. She's awesome. She has like one of the coolest sports that I've ever seen too. It's like this rigid, all white, just badass chopper. And hers is one of the first bikes that I ever fell in love with. And I've ridden it around a lot. And it's like ratty and dirty and greasy. And I love that about it.
Yeah.
Becky, she's awesome too. Actually, it's actual, I'm sure you know her, but she's awesome too. Like she built a panhead for Born Free, which is like super cool to see someone like representing women in builds, and that's awesome. I know I can go on forever. There's like a million other people, but
That's cool.
There's two of the biggest ones like in the industry is like Lana. Becky, I looked up to her for like, she was also another first that I followed on Instagram too, and I'm like, this chick is rad. Love her.
Definitely.
So
Definitely. And she built some really cool shit, and she gets up to a lot of really cool stuff as well.
Yeah.
I really like following, all of her content. It's no, it's all really good. I just think it's important to get some names out there for, people to actually follow and get some inspiration, Shows. You have so many shows. We have like 4, 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're so much fun. Yeah. Like, I've only, like I said, gone to the ones on this side, but, man, they're so much fun. I enjoy them a lot. And there's like more and more coming out. And I love that. And this just gives us more opportunity to travel over the summer. So,
John, I wanted to ask you about you got a ticket yesterday.
No, I avoided that. I erased the chalk line on my tire.
Yeah. What was that? What was the chalk thing? We don't have that here.
Oh,
or maybe we do. I look stupid now. But
like where our salon is, I just park out front and fucking like parking dudes will come by and like mark everybody's tires because it's only a 2-hour parking lane.
All right.
And it's so stupid, but usually they're like pretty cool about it because like we work there, we want to park in front of our shop, obviously, and like have our customers park. And my clients are there for sometimes 3-4 hours getting their hair done. So usually they'll like stop in and be like, hey, are these your cars, whatever. But he didn't know that was my bike, so he marked the tire. And I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm not getting a ticket. Like, I've never had a ticket. I'm not getting one today. So I just went out and I marked it. I ended up leaving like, I don't know, an hour later anyways. But I don't know. I think it's so stupid.
Yeah, man. It's the same here.
Yeah. And my bike like takes up this much room, like no space. And I'm like parked like kind of like there's an alleyway like where I was parked.
Yeah.
And I was like on the corner of that. So I don't know. It was just stupid. I like ran after the guy and I was like, hey, I'm taking that off my tire. Like, this is my bike. He's like, oh, okay, cool.
It's not like that here. Like here, they're
really
fucking dicks. Yeah, there's like no marking tires. They just put it in the computer straight away. And then once it's in there, that's it. Doesn't
they just
say it doesn't. It's
Yeah, they just come around with like a stick and then they'll mark your tire. And then like in 2 hours, if that tire or the mark is still there, or the car is still there, they'll be like, oh, this fucker didn't move. And then you get a ticket. We used to struggle with it all the time. Like last year, we have a new guy this year, but last year, like my husband like went out and was like, listen, dude, like we're a shop, like we park here. Our clients park here. Sometimes they're here for a while. Like, can you just not mark it, please? Like my husband had like 5 or 6 parking tickets in a month. And the dude was like such an asshole and like started shit with my husband. And he's like, you guys can park in the parking garage. And we're like, that's a mile away, dude. Like, I'm not going to walk a mile. Sorry. No. And so we just, anyways, the new guy is super rad. He'll just come in and be like, hey, is this your client or you? Yeah. So
because like
he's chill about it.
90% of them were like bullied in school and they're fucking assholes, aren't they?
Yeah. They just,
they
have some kind
job.
of ego issue.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're thriving with the power.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, dirty bastards. So the flooring thing. Sorry, yeah, that's a funny contrast from
Yeah.
cutting hair to laying floors. How did that come about? What's
Um, I don't know. There's like here, there's so much construction going on.
right?
Like I don't know, the housing industry is just like booming here right now. And people are starting to like remodel their houses because like housing prices are insane also. So
Right.
I think my husband just saw like an opportunity to make money, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did construction for a very long time before he did hair. Um, and so he's like, let's just start a flooring company. I was like, okay, like another business, let's
Yeah.
go. And then it always like spirals from there too. He's like, should we like start another thing? Should we like do this, do that? Like literally now we're like looking into buying like a bar and grill. And I'm like,
Oh
what the
shit.
fuck are we doing? Like, I don't want to run
Yeah.
three businesses. Like, we're so busy already. But I mean, it'd be cool to like own a
That
bar
sounds good.
anyways.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Even he was even like, should we like buy storage units? And I'm like, what are you doing? Just chill. Fucking relax. He
Is he
doesn't know how to do that though.
is he similar? Like, is his brain always going? And
Always
yeah,
going. He's like,
yeah,
what's next? What can we do more and more and more? I'm like,
yeah,
ugh, I just want to sit down for 10
yeah.
minutes.
And how long have you had the barbershop? Was that
um,
yours or?
yeah, so we just opened the barbershop and salon part last April. So it's been a month or a year since our shop together has opened. He's had his own barbershop for 2 years before that. Um, but he's been cutting hair for 10 years.
Cool.
And I was just working in like downtown Boise for a long
Yeah,
time too, at a different salon. And now that we like do it together, just it's better. Yeah,
that's
salons
sick.
are so like shit. They're just like drama always, and
Yeah,
I
I can
can't I
imagine.
can't handle like girl drama ever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
My wife's the same. Like, to be honest, she doesn't really have that many female friends.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's tough. Yeah. I don't know.
So
There's some that are just like their minds think differently, and I feel like I think like a dude, so it's hard for
yeah,
me to be like, oh my god, your boyfriend did that. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, when
So
you're like, yeah, mine didn't, and we spend all our time together, and it's great. Sorry,
yeah, like I have
I
no
can't
advice
advise
for
you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get one of him, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So
So really, I think a big thing we can take from this is you run a few different businesses. You've
mhm.
got 3 kids.
Yep.
You've got a husband.
Yep.
And you still find time to build a bike and fucking get out there riding, attending shows and shit like that. So if any girls are watching this, they need to
Yeah.
just stop being a pussy and fucking do it.
Yeah.
If you can do it, anyone fucking can.
Absolutely. My days are so like jam packed. Like
Yeah.
even like if an hour or something at night, just like go fixate on something. Like go fucking do it. Get a bike, even a new one, and like upgrade it yourself. Just you gotta fucking do it. It's cool.
Definitely.
It's so much fun, and it's like a whole nother level of freedom to just like go out and do something and say fuck you to the world.
Yeah, man, I love that. I think that's a great fucking way to finish it.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry if I was weird at all or
Not at all.